Alright, so Nintendo finally did it. The big Switch 2 reveal happened yesterday, and oh man, they came out swinging. We saw the hardware, new games, new features, and honestly, I was impressed. Like, it actually felt like a next-gen Nintendo experience, which is something I haven't said in years. But while everyone's eyes were popping out of their heads over how good Metroid and Mario Kart look, the price tags, yeah, those got people real heated. And today, we gotta talk about that. Now, to be fair, I want to give credit where it's due. I really liked what I saw. Switch 2 is clearly more powerful, games look sharper, animations are smoother, lighting and effects are on a whole other level for Nintendo standards. Metroid Prime 4 looks sick. Donkey Kong Bonanza is giving that chaotic platformer energy. And Mario Kart World? That's some of the best eye candy I've seen from Nintendo ever. The system's priced at $449 by itself, or $499 if you want it bundled with Mario Kart World. Yeah, it's not cheap, but when you stack it against stuff like the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, or those handheld PCs that cost like $800, it's not that wild. But alright, let's get into it. Mario Kart World is $80. Let that sink in for a sec. Now initially, people were freaking out thinking the physical version was $90. But if you're in the US, nah. It's $80 across the board, digital or physical. Still, that price has people spinning their wheels. Why $80? Why now? And why this game? Some folks online started tossing around the tariffs excuse, saying maybe global shipping costs or import taxes were to blame, but I don't really buy that. If that was the case, every game would be going up, not just Mario Kart. You've got Donkey Kong Bonanza sitting at $70, Street Fighter 6 is $60, and Cyberpunk 2077 is $70, and that one comes on a beefy 64GB cartridge. So, yeah, this isn't a we had no choice moment. This is Nintendo testing the waters. They're choosing to price it this high. What's weird is, Nintendo has never been the company leading the charge on premium pricing. They've always positioned themselves as the more affordable, family-friendly gaming option. Remember the Wii, the 3DS, even the Switch when it dropped. Always undercutting PlayStation and Xbox. Now suddenly, they're the first ones jumping to $80 games? It's kind of wild. Especially when they've built their brand on accessibility and value. Like, that's been their whole identity since forever. So fast forward to the Treehouse presentation. Nintendo's doing deep dives on all these new games, showing off gameplay, mechanics, visuals. It looked awesome, but you know what the chat was talking about? Not the games, not the features, just $80. Why is this so expensive? I'll wait for a price drop. And honestly, I don't blame them. Because there's a lot of confusion. Let's talk about upgraded Switch 1 games too, because that's another mess. Some games are getting free visual upgrades on Switch 2 if you have Nintendo's expansion pack. Cool, that makes sense. But others, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that's being resold for $80 because they added new story content. So if you already own it, you can just pay $20 to upgrade. But you wouldn't know that unless you're already deep into Nintendo news. It's confusing for the average buyer. Like, imagine being a parent, walking into Walmart and seeing a Kirby game for $80. You're gonna be like, when did this happen? That's the thing. Nothing feels consistent right now. Why is one first-party game $70 and another is $80? Why are third-party games cheaper, but some still cost more because of cartridge size? Nintendo's not giving us a clear answer, and it's just muddying the waters. We're still months away from launch, and people are already feeling burned. Look, we all know the Switch 2 is gonna sell out. Day 1, gone. Week 1, gone. That's how it always goes. But what happens 6 months from now? When the hype dies down, will these games still be $80? Will Nintendo backtrack like they did with the 3DS? I'm not saying they will, but this rollout feels kind of tone-deaf. And if you're not fully dialed into gaming news, it's easy to get lost in the weeds with all these upgrade paths and price tiers. Here's the deal. I'm gonna buy all this stuff because it's my job. I need to show you how it looks, how it runs, and more importantly, whether it's worth your money. But I totally understand why people are frustrated. Nintendo's playing a risky game here, and while the games themselves look incredible, The way they're handling pricing? Not so much. So what do you think? Is the $80 price tag too much? Are we overreacting? Or is this just the future of gaming, whether we like it or not? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see my full breakdown on the pre-order bonuses or the other weird pricing stories floating around, check out the other videos on the channel. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And hey, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and I'll catch you in the next one.